Welcome, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Unplugged with Pam, brought to you by Chosen Global. I am so excited, as always, to be here with you guys each and every single Thursday morning as we talk live with you guys. Welcome. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're joining us once again, welcome home. I remember when I first embarked upon entrepreneurships, I was looking forward to rooms like these. I was looking forward to these type of conversations, not only for the information, but for the inspiration. How you start your day sets the tone for your day. So kudos to each and every single one of you guys that decided to start your morning off with some fire, with some positivity. And here in Unplugged with Pam, we don't just talk about growth. We walk in it. This is not a call. This is a room that you need to be in before the rooms you want to be in. So as this month, it comes to an end, we've been having so many real conversations, from who you need to become to we talked about building something that outlives you. We talked about last week keeping the promises you make to yourself. And if you have not checked out our YouTube page, make sure you are staying up to date on all of the things at pamtheplug.com. Make sure you stay connected on YouTube and all streaming platforms. So welcome. And I'm excited because I believe more than anything, if you saw the title for this, it's Mindset Alone Won't Pay Your Bills. And you hear me often say, your mindset is where your mind sits. If something does not allow you to grow spiritually, emotionally, financially, in any aspect, way, shape, or form, do not let it sit there, right? Do not let it occupy your most precious real estate, because whatever you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. And why did I say that mindset alone will not get you paid? And I know you're like, wait, Pam, this kind of goes along all of the stuff. Well, the reality is that skill set does. And skill set is one of the things that sustains you. See, this is what separates people who are actually visible from people who are actually profitable. And I think that that's where a lot of people get stuck a little bit, if I'm being quite honest with you. I've had so many discovery calls this week, and a lot of times it's people are not willing to do the work internally. And believe me, you're showing up more. Kudos to each and every single one of you guys. But you're like, man, my results aren't matching the effort. And that is frustrating, because you're looking at things like, well, I'm doing this, I'm showing up, I'm doing all the things, I'm compartmentalizing my day so that I can allocate specific time and all of the things. So what exactly is missing? Let's talk about it, because mindset is powerful. You hear me talk about it all the time. Your confidence, your willingness to show up even when it's uncomfortable. It's what gets you actually in the room. But my mindset is the foundation. It's not the finish line. And I think that that's where a lot of people get messed up at. And they think they're like, oh, I'll just read 1,000 books and I'll attend all of the personal development conferences in the world. And they end up becoming training junkies, if I'm being honest, or personal development junkies, or they end up getting so many books and it becomes shelf help instead of self-help. So why is that? Because at some way along the line, you actually have to apply what it is that you're reading. You actually have to develop the skills. It's actually what you're building with it. And this is where most people fall short, really, or feel inadequate, because they have not refined their skill set yet. You're posting, but you're not communicating clearly. You're visible, but are you really being positioned? You're active, but are you truly converting? And skill sets look like how you communicate, having great communication skills, both verbal and nonverbal. Skill sets can be like how you can create content, how you actually position yourself, how you sell, but more than anything, how you are delivering value. There has to be value, because when you are, and y'all know when I be like, let me tell you something. Visibility without skills is just noise. So at some point, you got to ask yourself, you're like, okay, well, Is everything that I'm posting, is it just for show? Is it just for clout? Is it just for entertainment? And that's cute. Is it just for likes because I need an ego boost? And hey, I'm not knocking it, because to each their own. But I know this firsthand, because there was a season that I was just showing up. I was posting consistently, doing what I thought, if I'm being honest with you, that I was supposed to do, but I wasn't converting. It was frustrating, because I had the mindset, I had the drive, I had the passion, I had the conviction, I had the vision, but I had not refined the skill set yet. And that's when it hit me, like, it's not enough to be seen. You have to be valuable. You have to be clear. You have to be consistent, because you don't get paid for being talented. You don't. Because if we did, your girl would be a millionaire. Yes, I said it. You get paid for being positioned. So now the question really becomes, who are you serving? What problem are you solving? And can you communicate that in a way that actually resonates with people, that actually lands with people? Because if your message isn't clear, your money won't be either. It just won't. Clarity converts. And when you talk about you get clear, now we get even deeper. Because even with clarity, sometimes if everything just depends on you, you don't have a brand. You have a job. You have not set up your ecosystem. You have not set up your actual systems in place. And that's where the systems come in. You guys hear me talking about one of my partners for my systems, which is the Swiss level of marketing that I utilize, high level. This is not only for your automations, but this is for your follow-ups. This is for your reputation management. People should be leaving you Google reviews. You should all, free game, have a Google page, whether you have a brick and mortar or not. You should have a system that helps with the entire client journey, from a like to a comment to a conversion, from a customer filling out any interest form to anything. Because you already know, I always say, growth without systems is just stress. And when I started building and adding structure into my life, into my business, everything changed. Because at some point, I was no longer chasing, I was attracting. There's a reason why I have a waiting list for even clients, because I'm not going to take on more than I can deliver. But I realized more than anything was that I was not in a position that I was going to chase anything anymore. I wanted to attract, because I didn't want to feel overwhelmed. So it's important that you get organized. And that is when I realized it wasn't just about necessarily working harder. It was about building smarter. And if even with all of that, there's still one thing that will either accelerate everything or slow everything all the way down. Because you're like, oh, Pam, I thought we were done, But the reality is that that's your environment. You can't try to figure this out on your own. You can't. You have to have real people around you that know how to make real decisions, that know how to add real value, that you not only know for certain that you know what they're talking about, but they know what they're talking about too. Your environment, it will either stretch you or it's going to keep you stuck. If you get in rooms with people that are already operating at your level, then you need to be in different rooms, because you want to be around people that can actually stretch you. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of your environment. So when we talk about, all right, well, let's bring this all together, because I know some of you have been waiting to feel ready. And when really you just need to get better in certain things. Nobody's ever going to feel ready. Yes, I agree. You need to have more skills. You need to have more disciplines. You need to have more intentionality behind what it is that you are doing, behind what it is that you are posting, because the version of you that wants the results is not the version of you doing the work right now. Yes, I said that. So I say this because with the love and respect, and I needed this to resonate, even if it's just with one person. If you don't take anything away from this today, is knowing that mindset will get you started, but your skill set is what sustains you. Mindset without value will never convert into income. Strategy is what's going to turn your skills into actual money. And accountability, having the right people standing alongside you, holding you accountable with that proximity, is what's going to accelerate everything you're trying to build. So if you have been showing up, but you're not seeing the results, if you have been consistent, but you're not converting, if you have noticed that it's not that you're not capable, it's now it's the time that you're putting in as to how you show up. Because the next level that you're asking for, the next level that we're all seeking, it's not just requiring more skill. It's requiring more structure. It's requiring more intentionality, but it's requiring certain shifts. And we've watched so many shifts happen in our lifetime. Remember, from the first computer that ever got invented, then we saw the phenomenon of the internet. We've seen the phenomenon of social media. We've seen how the increase of content creation, and now we're witnessing what's going on with AI. And every single time, I will tell you, there are two types of people: the ones who adopt and the ones who watch. Why I say don't miss this, right? Because this is not just a trend. It's a transformation that is not going anywhere. So when I tell people and I encourage people, like, just stop showing up, and start showing up with intention, with strategy, with skill, because mindset starts the journey, but skill set is what pays you along the way. So if you're ready to stop guessing and you're ready to build a brand that actually generates income, book a strategy call. It's complimentary. Click on my link, pamelaplug.com, on all of the socials, or just DM me brands. And let's build this the right way, because visibility is great, but profitability, that's the goal. Blessings on blessings. Talk to y'all soon. Take care.